What's up guys? Welcome back to the Fairway Mid-Atlantic YouTube channel, where we're giving you all of our tips, tricks, and insights into the housing industry. If you're new here, head to our channel and catch up on our entire home buying series. We've been going over the entire process from application to closing, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video from us. We're posting new videos every Friday all about the home buying process, the mortgage industry, the housing market, personal finance, and so much more. But today, we're talking about the costs of buying a home that nobody talks about. We all know that buying a home is a huge purchase. It's likely the largest purchase or investment that you will make in your entire life. But aside from the ticket price of the house that you end up buying, what other costs are involved in buying a house? Well, we're gonna go over all of that and how to plan for it today in this video. So let's go. The first cost is the down payment. Now, we've gone over down payments before, and if you've missed those videos, we'll link to those here. But we're gonna go over it again because it's still one of the most cited obstacles in a home buyer's path. So first things first, you absolutely do not need to put 20% down on your house. In our budgeting video in 2020, we explained that that myth comes from a practice that's nearly 20 to 50 years old and was meant to keep the lender protected. Today, there are several products available to consumers that allows them to put down as little as 3% or even no money down on their home. While putting down 20% is a great goal to have if it's something attainable to you, you also need to recognize that it's not necessarily the only path towards home ownership. We will make a video in the future all about the different loan products available to first-time homebuyers that make buying a house more attainable and a little more affordable, and give you options as to how much you are willing and able to put down on your home. But to put this into perspective, let's give you a couple examples of how much a down payment could possibly be. So today, the average home price in the US is $340,000. That's a big ticket. A 20% down payment on that $340,000 would come out to around $68,000. That's a huge number and likely something that you would have to save for years and years and years to be able to make that. A 15% down payment on that house would be around $51,000. The average down payment made by home buyers is around 6%, and that would come out to $20,400. And the lowest 3% down payment that you could put down would come out to around $10,200. So as you can see, no matter what you're putting down, it's still a big chunk of money, but there are options available to you in your specific situation so that you can put down what you're comfortable putting down. So there are benefits to paying that full 20% down, such as the elimination of private mortgage insurance and having that 20% equity in your home. But again, that price tag is likely unattainable for most buyers. So that's why it's important to look at your home as an investment rather than a purchase, because that's what it is. You're investing in your future, and it's something that you will continue to work towards owning and gaining equity in over your lifetime. The second most misunderstood cost in the home buying process are closing costs. Now, you likely have never heard or have heard very little about what closing costs are and how much they are. But they're a very real thing that add on a huge chunk of money to your home buying process that you need to be aware of. So let's get into it. So we've briefly gone over closing costs before, but it's worth touching on again because it's probably the second largest upfront cost of buying your house. Closing costs consist of several different things. Third-party fees from people like appraisers, legal teams, etc. Your mortgage insurance, your homeowner's insurance, title insurance, loan origination fees, property taxes, and more. In most cases, closing costs will come to an average of around 3 to 6% of the loan amount. Your loan officer that you're working with on your home purchase should be constantly giving you estimates of what these closing costs will be, because it is an upfront cost that you will have to pay in addition with your down payment at the closing table. And then towards the end of the process, once the loan goes through processing and underwriting and the closing team, you'll get a final closing disclosure that will give you a breakdown of those closing costs and how much they actually are, so that you're prepared to come to the closing table, pay those costs, and get the keys to your new home. So again, let's put this into perspective with the example that we started with. So say you're putting 3% down on that $340,000 house. So that's that $10,200. Add on, let's say 3% for closing costs. That's another $10,200. So you're looking at paying upfront $20,400 on that $340,000 house. And that's the lowest point that it will probably be. Because again, closing costs average at around 3 to 6%, so it could be more. Now, that's a good chunk of money, and we aren't even done. Before we get into the next hidden costs of buying a house, leave a comment down below and let us know if you are planning on becoming a homeowner in the future. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy seeing these number breakdowns and peeks into the behind the scenes of the home buying process, so that we can keep bringing these videos to you. Okay, let's keep going. The third cost, insurance. Now, this chunk of money isn't necessarily as big as the down payment and the closing costs, but are things that you will continue to pay as you're paying your mortgage. They actually factor into your entire monthly mortgage payment. So let's break that down. Now, when we were talking about the closing costs, we mentioned private mortgage insurance and homeowners insurance. These are costs that are paid both upfront and monthly on your mortgage payment. But private mortgage insurance is something that you pay when you don't put that 20% down. This is a protection put in place by lenders and banks and the people that you're borrowing money from until you own that 20% equity in your home. So this number, the number that you're going to be paying for this private mortgage insurance, is calculated based on your mortgage rate, your loan amount, and the insurance rate. Homeowners insurance is something that you get to protect your home, right? From natural disaster, damage, stolen items and objects inside your home, etc. and so on. On average, this will come to around $1,200 annually, but is again broken down into that monthly payment that's factored into your monthly mortgage payment. So running with that same example, you bought a $340,000 house, you put down a 3% down payment and 3% closing costs. That comes to $20,400. And then your monthly private mortgage insurance would be somewhere around $261. And your monthly homeowner's insurance could be somewhere around $85. Now, you won't necessarily see these things individually as charges that you pay on their own. Again, they're factored into that monthly mortgage payment. And last, but certainly not least, are moving costs. Now, we made a video 2 weeks ago all about moving. We gave you an 8-week moving guide on how to plan for your move, pack all your things, and get it all done in the most efficient and stress-free manner possible, and we'll link that video here. When you buy a new house, you obviously have to move all of your stuff and possibly buy new furniture to furnish that house, and that comes with cost. So again, in our last video, we talked about finding a moving company should you need one, moving supplies, and other things included in your move, but we didn't go over the cost of those things. So we're gonna do that right now. So the first thing to know is that this cost is entirely up to you. It's not dependent on your lender or the home you're buying. It's a decision that you make, a budget that you make, and ultimately decide how you want to make your move and how you want your new house to look. So if you do decide to hire a moving company, if you're moving within a local range, that cost can be anywhere from $300 to $1,500. And if you're making an out-of-state move or a cross-state move, that would come out to anywhere between $2,500 and $5,000. Now, again, that's dependent on your situation and what kind of services you're hiring. You can hire a full day of movers and trucks, you can rent out a van, you can do a self-move and just buy all of your moving supplies. So again, this cost can range and be entirely up to what you want to do with your money. In your moving costs, it's also important to consider things like storage and temporary housing. Now, not all the time are you gonna be able to perfectly match up your move out date with your move in date. So when that happens, where is all your stuff gonna go and where are you gonna go? So that means looking into things like storage lockers for a couple days or hotel rooms for a couple days. And again, that could also mean that maybe you're moving into a friend's or parent's house for a couple days in between your move if you don't wanna spend that money. It's entirely up to you. Then there's the furniture. Now, furniture is not cheap, but furnishing an entire house can be a lot. So our advice is to make that inventory of everything that you currently have and are keeping for your new home, and then find ways to fill in those gaps that work for you. That could mean looking on marketplaces such as Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, things like that, to find used furniture for cheap. Or it could mean that you find gaps in your inventory that you want to fill with new things. And those all come with a cost, ranging from a lower end to a higher end. Again, completely up to you. But again, remember, if you're in the middle of your home buying process and you haven't been cleared to close, your loan hasn't closed yet, we recommend that you do not make any large purchases on credit, as it could affect your loan process. So just keep in mind that you should be considering what your budget is for your move aside from the ticket of your home purchase. So how much are you willing to spend on moving, and how much are you willing and able to spend on new furniture? And then once you make those budgets, decide on ways to meet those budgets effectively while also satisfying your needs and wants. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 4 largest hidden costs that nobody talks about during the home buying process. This sounds insane, and we know that. You're probably thinking, I could never save that much money to buy a house. I don't have that kind of money to be saving. It's just not in the cards for me, no way, no how. And we get it, you're not wrong. They can be huge numbers and super intimidating, and might be something that you need to plan years in advance for. However, if you think about your long-term goals and you know that home ownership is in your future and that's what you're working towards, we think it's super important to understand exactly what you're working towards. You don't want to make the largest investment of your life and not know that, oh, you need to pay this extra amount of money in order to actually become a homeowner. It's not just the home itself. So knowledge is power, right? Having a realistic idea of what you're saving for and what you're buying will help you make a better plan, a smarter plan to actually get there. If you want to talk about your options as a home buyer, you are certainly welcome to visit our website at www.fairwaymidatlantic.com and research all of our loan products available to you and contact one of our loan officers. We are always willing to have a conversation with you about your specific situation and the available options to you. We hope this video gave you an insight into the true cost of buying a home. You feel a little better prepared, if not at least a little more knowledgeable about the true cost of buying a house. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next week.